Okay, so let's talk about the one thing that is quietly running the show in your life. It controls your relationships, your leadership, your big decisions, and most of us don't even know it's there. The core idea we're going to unpack is this: your state determines your reality. And I don't mean your mindset or your affirmations or even how smart you are. I'm talking about your nervous system state.
Sound familiar? I mean, have you ever actually said those exact words to yourself? If you have, then you're in the right place. You've probably done the work, right? You've been to therapy, you know your attachment style, you can list out your triggers, you've read all the books, and yet, when the pressure's on, in those moments that really matter, you still react in that old way.
And I really want to be clear about something right from the start. That reaction, it is not a character flaw. It's not because you're not aware enough or haven't learned enough. It's a state problem. See, the whole time we've been trying to solve the wrong problem. This isn't a knowledge problem.
So what do I actually mean when I say state? Well, think of it like the operating system running in the background of your mind and body at all times. It's your nervous system's condition in any given moment. It's the biological backdrop that literally shapes everything else. It is the foundation that your entire experience is built on.
And you know this feeling, right? It's tangible. On one hand, you can feel calm, grounded, open, and really connected to people. And on the other hand, you can feel totally activated, overwhelmed, defensive, or maybe even just completely shut down. The state you're in determines what feels true in that moment.
Your state is the starting point. It's the first domino. It determines your feelings, which then shapes your perception of reality, which then creates the thoughts that pop into your head. And of course, those thoughts drive your behavior, which ultimately creates the outcome. So many of us are trying to wrestle with our thoughts. But look, thoughts are way downstream. State always comes first.
Okay, let's make this super concrete. I want to show you how the exact same event can create two totally different realities. And the only thing that changes? Your state.
So picture this: your partner walks in and says those four little words, "Can we talk?" Now, if your nervous system is regulated, you're feeling calm, your thought is probably pretty simple. Sure, no big deal. But if you're already stressed or tired or activated from something else, that same question lands completely differently. It triggers a whole cascade of thoughts like, "Oh no, what did I do wrong? This is going to be bad. They're definitely upset with me." See? The event didn't change. Your state did, and that changed your entire reality.
So what's actually going on inside you when this happens? Well, it's pure biology. When you're under stress, your nervous system automatically narrows your perception. It basically hits a panic button and decides safety first, clarity later. So a neutral comment suddenly feels like a threat. A little bit of space from someone feels like total rejection. Helpful feedback sounds like harsh criticism. And a moment of silence can feel like you're being abandoned. This isn't a personal failing. It's your biology trying to protect you.
So this all leads us to a new model for change, one that actually works with our biology instead of fighting against it. It's what I call the upstream solution, because we're going right to the source of the problem, not just patching up the symptoms.
I want you to really let this model sink in. Look at the order. State is at the very top. It dictates the feeling, which shapes perception, which generates the thought, which drives behavior and creates the outcome. Now, almost all personal development, all that self-help stuff, it tries to jump in right here at the thought level. But can you see how late that is to the party? If you can regulate your state right at the top, the rest of this cascade just shifts naturally. That is upstream work.
And this, right here, is the key thing that makes so many smart, self-aware people feel stuck. You can logically understand every single one of your patterns, but your insight does not and cannot override a nervous system activation. When that survivor brain takes over, your logical, insightful mind just goes offline. It's not about needing more information. You need a completely different skill.
You know, talking about this is one thing, but actually feeling it is something else entirely. So let's do this together. Right here, right now. Let's just try a tiny, micro state shift.
Okay, wherever you are, just take a second. Tune into your body. Go ahead and bring your awareness to your jaw. Are you clenching it? What about your shoulders? Are they up by your ears? And notice your chest. Now, just take one slow inhale through your nose and then a longer, slower exhale out. Let's do that one more time. Slow inhale and an even longer exhale. Okay, now just ask yourself, did something, even just slightly, soften? That tiny change, that is a state shift. It's subtle, but it's incredibly powerful.
So that little thing we just did, the ability to do that on purpose, in the moments you need it most,
That is the path to real mastery. We call it self-leadership. And the best part is, it is a trainable skill. Systems have been developed specifically to help people build this capacity, and the one I created is called Neuro Sage. It's not just another app to think about your problems, it's a system to actually shift your nervous system state.
Now, building this capacity means you need a pretty powerful toolkit. So we integrate a lot of different modalities. We use things like polyvagal-informed science to really understand our body's safety cues and concepts from internal family systems to work with those protective parts of us. And then we combine that with practical daily tools like specific breathwork exercises, somatic practices to get you back in your body, and even structured journaling to track it all.
And to make this something you can actually do, not just think about, we use a simple, repeatable framework called the RELM method. It's straightforward. You learn to recognize your state in the moment. Then you examine which protective part of you is trying to take the wheel. Then you align with your deeper, calmer inner authority. Then you lead yourself back to center through regulation. And finally, you master this whole process through repetition. This is how you build that skill of real-time self-leadership. So when you really get this, when you practice this, the result isn't just about having better reactions. It's about a fundamental shift in your identity. You move from being a person who is primarily reactive to a person who is truly self-led.
Think about it like this. The before picture is someone who feels reactive, is easily triggered, and often defensive. The after is someone who is regulated, self-led, and clear. Now, this is not about becoming some kind of Zen robot who never gets activated. No way. It's about becoming someone who recognizes that activation sooner, can intentionally shift their state, and can widen their perception before they react. And that changes absolutely everything.
So you may be wondering, is this actually for me? Well, listen up. This is for you if you're a high-capacity person. You're self-aware, you're intelligent, you've done the work, but you feel like you've just hit a wall in your growth. You still feel dysregulated under pressure. If that's you, this is your next layer. You don't need more information. You need to build capacity. So if you take just one thing away from our time together today, let it be this. Change your state, and you will change your reality. It is the most direct, the most powerful, and the most fundamental way to create real, lasting change in your life. The question for you is no longer, what should I do? The real question is, how do I want to be? And the most amazing news is, that's a skill you can absolutely learn.